Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon or Rising, and it's the weekly reading for the week of October the 7th to the 13th. Your cards this week, Scorpio, you have the Trust Your Path Oracle card. We have the Ten of Wands, Judgment, the Two of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and the Nine of Pentacles. So I'm just going to start off by reading out your Oracle card here, Scorpio. So trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? The universe is conspiring. Keep facing your true north. Your job is not to pave the path, but simply to keep facing your true north and take one step after another. If you do this, you can't go wrong. The universe is conspiring. Don't waver or doubt. Use your heart as a compass and put one foot in front of the other. If you follow the invisible trail of what lights you up, you will light up the world without even trying. So Scorpio, it's a lot about moving forward and trusting that you're on the right path. But I feel like some of you are coming from, a more difficult time where there wasn't any forward movement, and that can cause a lot of distress, especially when you're really wanting to progress with your life. So I do see that shifting this week. So let's start in the recent past here. I'm going to start with the Two of Wands and the Six of Pentacles. Now these two cards did come out in reverse. I don't always include reversed cards in my readings, but I do feel that this really does indicate what's been going on in the past. So I'll just flip them over for the purpose of reading them so that we can see them. So, the Two of Wands is a card of life review. It's a card of, contemplating the direction and which path we want to take in our lives. But in its reverse position, it can be about, not being able to move forward, about being stuck, about not seeing the opportunities and possibilities in our lives. Now, with that crossed with the Six of Pentacles here in reverse, the Six of Pentacles in reverse can be about being out of balance in some way. Because it's the suit of Pentacles, it can relate to financial imbalance and debt. So some of you may not have been able to move forward in your life because you didn't have the financial resources to do so, or you may have had a debt hanging over your head, which means you couldn't maybe quit a job that you really didn't like or weren't happy in, and you couldn't really make any other changes in your life or take a break or anything like that because you had to sort of keep on keeping on. The Pentacles energy can also be about stability and security. So some of you might have had some, personal instability issues, whether that was caused from, a breakup or some other situation that made you feel unstable or unbalanced energetically. And that can stop us from moving forward, when we just don't quite have everything aligned within ourselves. It's that kind of energy with that Six of Pentacles in reverse. It can also be about being out of balance with giving and receiving. So maybe you were in a situation where, you needed to give a lot of your energy and you weren't getting so much back. And, when you're sometimes, over giving, you don't have the energy that you need for yourself to contemplate your life, to move forward. And it can keep you stuck, especially if you're in a situation with somebody who might be dependent on you. If you're in a giving and out of balance in a giving and receiving situation, can mean that there is somebody dependent on you, and that could be the burden that we're looking at releasing this week. Either way, that life review, I think you really wanted to seek something else for your life, but you were unable to because of one of those reasons that I've mentioned. That Two of Wands really is about stepping beyond your comfort zone to pursue a future, leaving the past in the past and being able to move forward, understanding that you have all the possibilities open to you. And I really feel like this is what you wanted to do, but there was something really an obstacle in the way for you. But the universe is calling you this week to review what that obstacle might be and to release it. So let's talk about the Ten of Wands first. So the Ten of Wands is, it can indicate something that's been weighing heavily on you. It could be some kind of burden, like we've just talked about, a codependent situation, financial debt. It can be something that is, too much responsibility for you. So it could be a job that It's a general reading, guys, so that's why there's so many different things that this could be. You'll know what it is for you, but it could be that sort of job where you've got too much responsibility. You can't quite get through all your tasks in a day and you just end up feeling exhausted. When we have that kind of situation, the thing is that it does cloud our vision and it blinds us. Like we said with the Two of Wands in reverse, not being able to move forward because you can't actually see your direction because you're too tied up in a situation that's holding you bound. So, at a number 10, the universe is saying that it is time for this to come to completion. So, we really need to come up with a way this week to be able to release that burden. Now, the Oracle card was all about trusting your path and being able to put one foot in front of the other. Now, I think you have been trying to push forward and you might have been taking some forward steps, but it would have been very slow going and it really probably felt like you were pushing a bit of a weight uphill. Once you actually release this burden, whatever that is, you'll be able to basically put your head up, see the clear path ahead and actually make a lot quicker progress towards that. So that's what I'm seeing there. So, if it's a debt situation, that might involve, putting a really solid plan in place that will have you clearing that in a period of time. If you are in a codependent relationship situation, having a very honest conversation with that and saying that you are, no longer able to be in that situation because it's holding you back. If it's a job situation, getting clear with that too, and maybe actually putting a plan in place to seek other work. Now, with that judgment energy, this is the universe giving you a wake-up call to it this week. And you may even wake up to the fact that it's holding you back and see that if you stay in that situation, it is actually detrimental for you being able to complete the cycle and move on to the path that you are truly supposed to be on. Judgment can ask you to... can be the card of forgiveness and second chances. So there might be someone you need to forgive and forget, although you might still have to move on from them. Ask you, with that second chance energy, are you going to stay in this situation or are you going to move on? And if you do stay in it, I think you really need to, make some big changes in order to bring those scales back into balance. But, I think you really have nothing left to lose. Look at these people here. They've been in these constricted environments for a period of time. That maybe, how you felt when you're carrying all this weight. But what they're really saying is that there's no sort of they can't be held confined any longer. So I really think that you're probably at the end of your tether. You're at your tipping point with the situation, and you're ready for freedom. And that's what we have, that sense of total vulnerability of saying, I can't take it anymore. I might get hurt. The other person might get hurt. I don't know quite what the path looks like after I put down these wands, but I'm ready to be vulnerable and ready to be open to the possibilities because I trust that I will be guided once I do that. And that's exactly, the confirmation that you have in your oracle card about trusting your path. And also, if you knew you would be supported by the universe, which we can see that you are divinely guided this week, what decisions would you make? So taking all the fear out of it, what would you do if possibilities were infinite, which they absolutely are for you? So Scorpio, if you do complete that cycle, put down those load of wands, bring things back into balance, we can see the kind of energy that's coming in for you, and it's extremely positive. So we have the Ace of Wands here. So I feel like this is the wand that the universe really wanted to pass to you, in your previous, in a previous time frame, in your past situation, but you were unable to grasp it and run with it at the time. After putting down this load, clearing the situation, the universe comes back in and says, okay, now it's time. Now it's ready for you. Now you can take this opportunity and grow it. So, it's divine timing, divine intervention, saying, I've been knocking on your door for a while, but you just haven't been able to hear me because of the other situation that's been going on. The Ace of Wands can also be about getting your passion and enthusiasm back for life, can be even an offer of passion. It's also about, self-growth, self-worth, spirituality. It's all that kind of thing. Either way, it's about being reinvigorated in your life. And the aces are number one in each of the suit of the tarot deck, so they really are the seeds of pure potential. We still need to take inspired action in order to grow them. And if you do that, Scorpio, Nine of Pentacles here for me is one of the top cards of valuing yourself, of self-sufficiency, stability, security, and abundance. So if that Six of Pentacles in reverse was about being out of balance with all those things, maybe having financial issues, having codependency in that in your life, the Nine of Pentacles really is the opposite of that. It's stepping into your personal power. And when we're in our personal power, we wouldn't stand for situations like that. We would resolve them quickly and move on. And it also talks about here having some luxuries. It can just be that sense of self-worth, especially if you're getting back into your sense of power. And I just want to highlight too that Nine of Pentacles did actually come out with the Hierophant. Now, often people talk about the Hierophant being, relating to situations of institution and commitment and that kind of thing. But the Hierophant is also about values. So you can see the two keys on the card here. The first key indicates the kind of values that are imposed on us by systems, our families when we grow up, the situations we work in, our institutions of study and that kind of thing. And the second key represents our own values, and there comes a point in life where we need to make that switch from aligning with the values that are kind of imposed on us or handed down to us and going our own way. So I see this as being your point this week of making that turn to go your own way, because maybe if you were dancing to the beat of somebody else's drum, it was just holding you back and keeping you out of balance. So by saying, what, I am going to align with my own values, this is about me realigning with my soul's purpose. After clearing these burdens, I just think that there's no stopping you with that Nine of Pentacles energy. So that's what I have for you, Scorpio. So trust your path. You are heading in the right direction. There is a situation to clear for some of you before you can get really back to all this good stuff here. I hope you enjoyed the reading, Scorpio. Keep in mind it is a general reading, so it won't be for every one of you. Leave me a comment. I'd love to know how it's playing out in your daily life, and I'll see you back here next week for another reading.